Hey,
What?
listen up and hear me out. I just want a bitch. Not like in like a crybaby way, at least I think. Let's just talk about like stuff, you know? Specifically the BR scene. Current state of games, what I think, and a bunch of other shit maybe, I don't know. I basically had this thought on my mind on how much I love Apex and why it's such a good game at its core, minus all of the stuff that's around it that makes it somewhat bad sometimes. And why Warzone has like the complete opposite problem. Fortnite continues its success. So basically I'm just gonna have gameplay in the background and I'm just gonna talk over it, kind of like a podcast type thing. So I hope you enjoy it. Something a little bit different on the channel. I'm gonna be gone away from my setup for the rest of the year, spending time with family for the holidays. So you'll just be seeing me through this and I won't be streaming. But if you like the video, like it. If you love it, make sure you're subscribed. Happy holidays from me and mine to you and yours. And this last weekend I went out with drinks for my brother's college graduation, and they asked about stream and how it's going, etc. And how I said, you know, Warzone kind of took an L for me, and I think I'm gonna stay on Apex Legends, which is kind of crazy to think about because I always thought that I would go back to Warzone, being, you know, the first game that I really took a leap of faith on to stream. With that being said, Warzone obviously took a fat L, but we'll get to that. They asked why Apex, and I asked why not Apex. What leaves the casual player not wanting to play Apex? And I think there's two things that prevent Apex from being the #1 BR by a landslide. The first being that there's no really solo mode. Apex, you gotta have a team. Pubs get really sweaty pretty quickly. If you're a new player, you're gonna get thrown into some bot lobbies. You know, SBMM does help you. But if you're an FPS veteran and you've played, you know, a lot of different games, the SBMM is gonna get boosted up pretty quickly, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Outside of pubs, you open up ranked, right? And then ranked is kind of where a lot of people who want to have the sweaty gameplay, that's where they go. And you still need a team for that as well. So basically you have to play with randoms a lot of the time in Apex, and that is just such a crapshoot of what you're gonna get. You might get some amazing ex-Predator players who can carry you. You might have some great teammates but have shitty energy and shitty vibes, and there's just so many different variables to success in Apex Legends outside of your own gameplay and skill. I think that turns a lot of people off. I think that it's really tough to be able to depend on other players that you don't know, and it's even tougher to find teammates who you vibe with, not only just in game, but being able just to not have shitty people is also part of it as well. You have to have good chemistry. So with Apex, I think if they just put in some sort of experimental modes, I thought about Fortnite and how that Fortnite is such a good game because of the constant adding and removing of different things within the game. It makes it seem fresh with different POIs, different items every single season on how you play the game. And so many of them are experimental and don't take it that seriously. And I think that's something that Apex severely lacks. And that's kind of like the other thing as well with not having a solos mode or a casual mode for new players, is that there's nothing really new. That's something that Apex kind of lacks. And that's something I said in my intro, that at its core, Apex is such an amazing game. It really is. But it just turns people off because there's not something for casual players to jump in and dive to, because it is somewhat of a complex game. And on top of that, if you do get into the groove of Apex, something that sucks is that the content lacks sometimes. You know, right now, Apex players are upset because of the lack of content, the lack of everything outside of the game itself, right? And that's where kind of Warzone flourishes to a fault, where there's always something new in the game in terms of cosmetics or whatever it may be. There's something that just kind of gives it a new feeling outside of the core gameplay, which is kind of ass backwards from what Apex has. And to be fair, I would rather have a game that maybe is lackluster on the content front, but has an amazing core game. Because, you know, Warzone 2 at its core is a terrible game. Not only is dev errors running rampant, but there's bugs, there's glitches, and there's just not really an incentive to get good and play the game other than get a nuke, which again, to me, isn't everything. You get a cool skin with it, but that's it for a nuke. Apex for myself has been the first game really since start streaming that I've taken it even to the deepest level of competitiveness. I've switched inputs, I've switched games, and this has been a grueling but incredibly gratifying year of my life in terms of gaming and streaming. I've lost a bunch of viewers, I've lost a bunch of followers, all because I switched games, but I did it because I genuinely felt that, you know, I am bigger than a game. I'm not gonna be a Warzone streamer because I'm gonna play the games that I wanna play. Apex is a mirror. and it tells you exactly what you do right and what you do wrong. And that is something that is incredibly satisfying within the game of how good you're playing and how good you're not playing, and how to take notes from that every single time that you do play. I kind of think of Apex as that glacier picture where on the top you have all these different things that are just present in the game. You have these weapons, you have legends, you have abilities, and you have these different maps and modes. But deeper down you have team chemistry, you have rotations, you have movement mechanics like super gliding and tap strafing, and how to use different legends with other legends. And the depth that goes down inside of Apex is fascinating. If you're a non-defensive team and you want to play aggressive, you need to be playing on the edges of the zone. If you're a defensive team, you want to be able to have your rotations in the middle of zone so you don't have to rotate outside of it with lack of mobility. And it's just all of these different things are amazing to learn and be a part of. And that's something that Warzone just kind of just didn't care about, is they just wanted everybody just to be equal. They took away any sort of incentive to really play the game other than to have fun. And I hear people say that prox chat is the only reason that they play Warzone. And while there's nothing wrong with that, I did see something recently that said that with an AI-based technology, Call of Duty and Activision will be able to detect if you were bullying, being racist, sexist, or saying anything negative within the game, and that you can be banned for those things. So prox chat is gonna get nerfed pretty hard on what you can say. While I understand that Apex is not for everybody, I think that this game is a few good decisions away from really being the king of BRs. The season 15 was kind of lackluster. We did get a new map, and it's actually amazing, which you can see from the gameplay. Broken Moon is actually probably one of my favorite maps, but people wanted something else. With Warzone 2 releasing, Apex knew that they were gonna lose a lot of their player base regardless if they made all the right decisions or not. With big streamers like Imperial House saying that they playtested season 16 and they're really excited for it and they have positive notes is huge for this game. So all we can do is hope that season 16 is the season that puts Apex back on top. Warzone has already seen 50% of their players drop within the first month, and Fortnite is a great game, but truthfully I think there's more mass appeal to Apex than Fortnite because it's not truly a kid's game. If I have any Warzone streamer buddies out there that are watching and still listening to this, first, thank you, and secondly, just know that your brand is so much bigger than Warzone. I'd be happy to play with some of you guys if you're trying to make it the transition, because this game has so much to offer. And I really do think with the fall of Warzone that season 16 of Apex is supposed to be the season. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great day.
Rings close.
Recharging my shields.
Okay, the other team was on height. Be careful.
Here comes the old knuckle cluster.
Trying to get seen.
And closing in 45. It's moving time.
Nice, they're fighting. Wait, yeah, wait for knock, wait for knock, wait for knock. Nice, we go.
3 knocks.
Last team.
Right, one squad left. Let's put them out of Fizzo. Take it down.
Reloading.
There's one knocked already.
Knuckle sandwich.
2 knocks. Let's fucking go, bro. Good shit. Good fucking shit, baby.
Oh my god.